Hello everyone! So today I am finally getting at you with that Q&A that I promised weeks and weeks back on my blog. Today's Q&A, I'll just be focusing on the pregnancy related questions. I'm an American living in France. I'm married to a Frenchman and we are expecting our first baby. Currently I'm at 38 weeks pregnant and a few days. Let's just jump right into the questions. I'll be answering them off of my handy dandy computer, so if you see me looking down at all, that's what I'm looking at. Has it been difficult being so far from your family, especially during the pregnancy? Yes, it's hard to be away from like family, but also friends, because I would love to be able to call up my mommy friends that are about the same age or that I went to high school with and be like, oh, do you have any advice for this? Where would you go to buy this and this? Have you seen these cute pajamas on sale? Da 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 da. I haven't been able to visit my family during this pregnancy, and they haven't been able to come here either. But I do have some family that are coming this summer, so when baby's about 3 months old, and we are so excited. Are you planning on raising baby bilingual? Yes, baby will only be speaking English with me, and then my husband will be taking care of all of the French linguistical part of it. I just wanted to know if you'll be delivering in a birthing center or a hospital, and are you planning on a natural unmedicated birth? I am delivering in a hospital, and I am planning very much on a go with the flow birth. So the more I read about these birth plans, and they sound great and everything, and everyone gets really excited, I've noticed that the majority of women who have very complicated birth plans tend to get disappointed because baby decides she's not coming out that way, or she's not going to be doing this, or there'll be middle medical things that come in, and a lot of women then feel like they failed and they feel like they weren't able to deliver naturally, and they get really sad and upset, and I don't want to have to go through that. And I know if I built up the expectations in my head and then wasn't able to fulfill them, I'd be really disappointed. So for this pregnancy, this birth, I'm just going to absolutely go with the flow. I really trust my doctors, and I'm going to be making decisions as we go that are best for me and baby, whether that's medicated or unmedicated. Alright, so this question comes from Annie because I mentioned in a video not too long ago that the epidural rate at my hospital for first-time mothers was 98%, which is higher than the rest of France, but in France in general, epidurals are very much accepted and very much encouraged. And so Annie wanted to know what the C-section rate at my hospital was, because generally such a big push of epidurals could lead to more sections, at least in the States. I looked online, and in America, apparently the average for C-sections is 30%, and at my hospital the average is 20%, which is really good because the hospital where I'm delivering at is kind of where they send all of the babies and future moms in the region who are having complications. So considering that like mine is like the complicated pregnancy hospital, the rate is still only 20%, I think that's pretty good. What they told us at the meeting, now this might not be true, people can take statistics and twist them however they want, so keep that in mind. I do really trust my doctors, but what they told us at the meeting is that if you get a well-dosed epidural at the right time, that it will in no way affect the progress of your labor. And then in some cases it even speeds up labor because, you know, it helps the mom relax and she's able to focus on pushing rather than just be focusing on the pain and being like, oh, I'm gonna die. They even cited, during this meeting, they cited a few studies that backed that up, that said that, no, if it's a well-dosed epidural at the right time, then that should be fine and it won't stall labor whatsoever. They also said that it does not increase the need for other interventions later on. Once again, take it with a grain of salt. This is just what they've told us at our meeting. Obviously for your birth, you do whatever you feel is best. So have you read Bringing Up Baby? I have not read the whole thing. I have skimmed it. I've gone through sections of it and I've read chapters of it. And I just couldn't finish because I disliked how she used generalizations and marketing techniques playing on this ploy of they do it this way in France, and so it's better, because there were none of the things she mentioned in her book were things that I saw repeated in actual life living in France. It might be accurate if you apply it just to a small section of Paris elite. There might be some Parisians that do raise their children that way. I haven't met them, I haven't seen any of their children. And before I was at my current job, I was working in a daycare, and there were a lot of wealthy families and things like that, and I got to see quite a few different French families. And I think it is so sad that in the book Bringing Up Baby, she didn't focus at all on the diversity of France, because France is a very international country. There are a lot of immigrants, and there are so many different parenting styles. And the parenting style that she claims to be French, I've never seen anyone parent that way, French or otherwise. So if you tried out some of her methods and your kids didn't react very well, it's fine. It's normal. They don't react that way in France either. So, is breastfeeding very common in France? I'm going to start out this question by saying that I have been very, very well supported by the medical community in my decision to breastfeed. And I've been given lots of resources, and there are a lot of free resources even, and like numbers you can call and people you can go to see that are just a block or two away that are there to help if you have attachment issues. I mean, I've been very, very well supported, and it's very heavily pushed by the medical community. That being said, I asked my midwife, and she said it's still something they're pushing it so hard because they're having a hard time with getting people to respond. A lot of women start out breastfeeding, but they stop after a month or so. And most women are supposed to go back to work after the first 2 months of maternity leave. So yeah, it's a hard thing to do, and it's a little bit complicated, and a lot of women they give up a little bit earlier. That being said, if you are in France, don't be afraid. You will be so well supported if you do decide to breastfeed, and there are doctors and lactation consultants that are there to help you, and will be enthusiastic even about helping you. Make sure you find a doctor who is like up to date and who is willing to help you find the resources you need, because I think it will make all the difference. Would you ever do a video with your partner, or are you not with the father of your soon-to-arrive baby? I am definitely with the father of my soon-to-arrive baby. It's my husband. His name is Laurent. He's very handsome. I'm going to try and insert a picture here. If I can do that on iMovie, we're going to see. He will not be in any videos anytime soon, just because he's very, very camera shy. He's very handsome, but very camera shy. The other day, he kind of jokingly mentioned appearing in a few of my videos, and I was like, oh, that would be great. That would be so much fun. And I think it would be cute for like memories if we had that on tape as well. And he was like, no, I was kidding, I can't go on there and talk about mascara. No. I was like, no, we'll talk about baby. But he's not, yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon. He's very camera shy, but I'm definitely with him. We've been married for 2 years now. We've been together for almost 4 years. March 27th, 28th will be our 4th year anniversary. And yeah, he's great. I'm excited. He's going to be a really good dad, and so he's so enthusiastic about the whole thing. It's really exciting. That's all for today. I'm going to have to wrap this up really quickly before the camera cuts me off. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me on Twitter or in the comments below, keeping in mind, of course, I'm obviously not a doctor, and I can't speak for all of France. I can only tell you what my experience has been as far as this pregnancy goes so far. So I hope you're having a wonderful week. Happy Monday, and I will chat with you all later. Ciao.